What if your body decided you were pregnant, even when there was no baby inside you? Your stomach swells, your breasts ache, morning sickness hits, you feel kicks, real ones. Friends congratulate you, doctors measure your belly, you count down the days, then the 9th month arrives, and there is nothing there. This isn't a hoax, it isn't denial, and it isn't imagination in the casual sense. This is pseudocyesis, false pregnancy, a condition so powerful that the mind convinces the body to rewrite biology itself. So the question becomes darker, more unsettling. How can belief alone create pregnancy symptoms without a fetus? And, more importantly, could the same mechanisms be influencing your body right now? Segment 1. When the body lies perfectly. Pseudocyesis is rare, but when it happens, it doesn't arrive halfway. It arrives complete, not as a suspicion, not as a fear, but as a full biological performance. The body doesn't hesitate. It doesn't question. It doesn't ask for proof. It commits. A person with pseudocyesis doesn't think they're pregnant. Their body behaves as if pregnancy is already underway. Menstrual cycles stop, sometimes for months. Morning sickness appears without warning. Nausea hits in waves, timed perfectly with waking hours. Food aversions form. Smells become unbearable. Breasts swell, darken, become tender to the touch. In documented cases, lactation begins. Milk produced by glands responding to hormonal signals that should only activate after childbirth. Weight increases, but not randomly. It distributes in patterns that mimic pregnancy. The hips widen, the abdomen expands forward, firm and rounded, not bloated, not soft, convincingly gravid. And then there is the most disturbing symptom of all, movement, not imagined, not vague. Distinct sensations, described as fluttering at first, then rolling, then unmistakable kicks. People name them. They schedule doctor visits around them. They place hands on their stomach and wait until the movement happens again, and it does. These sensations are not metaphorical. They are not emotional impressions or symbolic feelings. They are felt in muscle, nerve, and tissue, which is why pseudocyesis devastates everyone involved, especially doctors. Because from the outside, everything looks right. Blood tests often show hormonal patterns consistent with pregnancy. Estrogen and progesterone fluctuate, prolactin rises. The uterus may enlarge slightly, responding to chemical instructions sent by the brain. The abdomen can harden, not from a fetus, but from changes in posture, muscle tone, and fat distribution driven by endocrine shifts. In some cases, even experienced clinicians are fooled, at least temporarily, because the body is not malfunctioning. It is following orders. Orders issued not by a fetus, but by belief. The nervous system doesn't care where instructions originate. It doesn't require physical confirmation. When the brain decides something is real, the body treats it as fact. This is not someone pretending. There is no conscious deception here. No performance. The person isn't acting pregnant. Their nervous system is issuing commands, and the body is executing them with ruthless efficiency. This is why pseudocyesis is so hard to confront, because the moment of truth doesn't come gently. It comes in a cold room, under fluorescent lights. A transducer presses against a swollen abdomen, gel spreads, a screen flickers to life, and there is nothing. No heartbeat, no movement, no silhouette, just empty space where certainty lived for months. Imagine the psychological impact of that moment. Your body told you a story every day. It reinforced it with pain, nausea, fatigue, movement. Your identity slowly reshaped around it. Friends congratulated you. Strangers smiled knowingly. Your future reorganized itself. And then a machine says, there was never anyone there. The mind doesn't accept this easily, because to the brain, the pregnancy was real. This is where pseudocyesis becomes more than a medical condition. It becomes a confrontation with the limits of reality itself, because we like to believe that the body only responds to physical causes, that biology is grounded, objective, mechanical. Pseudocyesis exposes that belief as fragile. It reveals that the body is not just reactive, it is suggestible. Under intense psychological pressure, grief, desire, fear, expectation, the brain doesn't wait for evidence. It predicts. And once it predicts, it adjusts chemistry to match. The body is not lying. It is complying. This is the uncomfortable truth medicine struggles to sit with. The brain can generate physical states that feel indistinguishable from reality, not symbolic, not psychosomatic in the dismissive sense, fully embodied, which is why people with pseudocyesis often resist the diagnosis, not out of denial but confusion. How can something that feels this real not be real? How can a body produce symptoms with no cause? The answer is simple and terrifying, because the cause is internal, and internal causes are the hardest to disprove. Once belief crosses a certain threshold, the nervous system stops distinguishing between what is imagined and what is happening. It assumes the job is already decided, and it acts accordingly. That's the true horror of pseudocyesis. Not that the body can be fooled, but that it doesn't need to be fooled at all. It only needs to be convinced. Segment 2. The brain as a biochemical director. To understand pseudocyesis, you have to understand one uncomfortable truth. The brain does not merely observe reality, it constructs it. The hypothalamus, your brain's hormonal command center, controls reproduction, stress, appetite, and emotional bonding. When belief, desire, trauma, or fear reaches extreme intensity, this system can misfire. Here's what happens. Emotional stress alters dopamine levels. Dopamine suppresses prolactin regulation. Prolactin increases, triggering breast changes and milk production. Estrogen and progesterone shift. Menstrual cycles stop. The body enters pregnancy mode. No embryo required. In other words, belief becomes biology, and the brain doesn't check for evidence first. It acts on expectation. This is why pseudocyesis is most often associated with intense psychological pressure, desperate desire for a child, fear of infertility, cultural obsession with motherhood, loss of a previous pregnancy, identity tied to reproduction. The mind fills the absence with certainty, and the body follows orders. Segment 3. History's most convincing illusions. Centuries ago, pseudocyesis was common and devastating. In royal courts, queens announced pregnancies that never ended. Entire kingdoms waited for heirs that would never be born. Doctors believed these women. Midwives believed them. There were no scans, no hormone tests, just swelling bellies and silence at birth. In some cases, labor pains occurred. Contractions, screaming, exhaustion. No baby. Imagine the psychological aftermath, the collapse of identity, the shame, the accusation of deception. But there was no lie, only belief. So, strong it shaped flesh. Even today, modern medicine struggles with pseudocyesis because it sits at an uncomfortable intersection where psychology becomes physiology, and science hates admitting that the mind can override the body this completely. Segment 4. Why the kicks feel real. One of the most chilling aspects of pseudocyesis is fetal movement. People report flutters, rolling sensations, sharp kicks. So what's actually happening? The answer is disturbingly simple. Increased gut sensitivity, gas movement, interpreted as life. Abdominal muscle contractions, heightened bodily awareness due to expectation. When the brain expects movement, it labels sensation as movement. This is predictive perception. Your brain deciding what something is before analyzing what it actually is. Once labeled, the sensation becomes permanent truth, and undoing that, belief, is nearly impossible. The twist and application. Now here's the part that involves you. You may never experience pseudocyesis, but you've felt its smaller cousins. Have you ever felt pain after reading about a disease? Experienced nausea just from anxiety? Felt your heart race because you thought something was wrong? Convinced yourself something terrible was about to happen, then felt it physically? That's the same mechanism. The brain predicts. The body complies. Pseudocyesis isn't an anomaly. It's an extreme example of a system you use every day, which raises a darker question. How many of your sensations are reactions to belief rather than reality? If the mind can create pregnancy without a fetus, what else can it create without cause? Pain without injury, fear without threat, memories without events, beliefs without evidence, certainty without truth. The brain fills in gaps. It builds stories from silence. It connects patterns that are not there. It turns shadows into danger. It turns coincidence into meaning. Sometimes it protects you, Sometimes it traps you. Perception becomes your reality. Reality becomes what you expect, and the two begin to blur. The line between reality and perception is thinner than you think, and once you see it, you can't unsee it, and that is why you need to watch the next videos.